We are live. Good afternoon, Dr. Mike.
Hey, how we doing?
Good, 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 good. So, I don't remember what day it was, a week or so ago. We both listened to the quote of the day by Sean Croxton,
Yes.
and Tom Bilyeu was on, and he's the guy who founded Quest Nutrition. Sold it for like $1 billion. But he was talking about something. It was a leeway. It was a way into talking about something that we've talked about in the past, and he had an equation. It was II equals IO, or ideas in equals ideas out. And both of you and I have listened to very similar podcasts, not exactly all the same. We also read a lot of the same books and audio books. So I thought we could just use that equation of II equals IO, or ideas in equals ideas out,
Sure.
as a way just to talk about some of the newer books we've read and some of the podcasts we co-joint listen to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's really important that you introduce ideas into your life. And then because what it does is it questions your status quo in how you think and why you think. And some of the things that we may have been with thinking, when we can question those types of things, it really leads to our growth. So, a great quote and great idea. So, what have you been listening to?
Yeah, okay. So I'll just the last couple the book that I'm listening to right now is The Book of Obligations by Richard Haas. Um, it's about 10 obligations that we should all have as citizens of the United States, essentially. And it's not a book I would typically listen to, but it was a book that was offered up by my father, so I figured I'd listen to it, and I'm enjoying it. I'm not a big history guy, and there's a lot of history in it, but I really do like it. I listened, just finished Never Finished by David Goggins, who's a ultra marathoner. The Essence of the Upanishads, is a little religious topic. The Secrets to the Money Masterclass by Rhonda Byrne, and World Religions by Houston Smith are the last five or so books that I've read. What about you, Mike?
That's cool. David Goggins, we don't even know. He's probably an alien because he
He
is
is.
just
He is a alien.
in all the books that I've ever read, there's not anyone close to his intensity. I mean, that is just one intense human being. Amazing what he's accomplished.
Yes.
Um, so you and I both watched. You turned me on to it. I believe it was on Netflix. It was a Graham Hancock documentary,
Oh, Ancient Apocalypse. Yeah.
Ancient Apocalypse. So that, like many things, that thread, I tug on that thread in life. I'll be reading something, and something will pop up in the reading, and I'll have to pull that thread and that thread. So that thread led to Fingerprints of the Gods. The Quest Continues. This book was written in 1993, I believe. And I think you said that you read that one way back when. But it was a brilliant book on history and the pyramids and all these other things. So really, really fascinating. It was an 18-hour one, so it was a
Oh,
long one. That was great. There was another book that I read, No Bad Parts: Healing Trauma and Restoring Wholeness with the Internal Family System Model. This is Richard Schwartz, PhD. It was a really good. I believe he was on. He was either on Paul Chek's podcast or Tim Ferriss. Another one that I listened to on Tim Ferriss. No, Paul Chek, The Immortality Key: The Secret History of the Religion with No Name. Fascinating look with really in ancient history and where the sacraments came from. Really, really interesting. a couple other ones. Mark Manson, Everything is Fucked, a book
Yeah,
about hope.
that's a great one.
That was a really good book. He was on Tim Ferriss. And the last one that I'm listening to right now is The Socratic Method, a Practitioner's Handbook. Very good. Ward Farnsworth. Interesting look at Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle.
Yep.
So good stuff. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
what I notice about the books that we read is that we make a concerted effort to try to listen to books in a wide variety of topics. Of course, we have our favorites and our favorite authors, but we try to really hit all the different world topics to make us as well-rounded as we possibly can be.
Absolutely. And there's always new information coming out. And what we learned, and I've said this to you about getting your certifications. What I learned in exercise science 30 years ago, it's been proven untrue now. Like, it's amazing what it stands the test of time of 30 years, because we learn certain things. And Andrew Huberman just had Andy Galpin on, and just talking about different aspects of muscle and muscle training and in muscle endurance. And it's just amazing what really great information and challenges basically everything that we ever been taught about it.
You mentioned Andrew Huberman, so let me run through a list of our common podcast favorites, and if I miss anything, Mike, just add it on at the end, okay? So we love the Huberman Lab podcast.
Yep.
Quote of the day with Sean Croxton.
Yep.
Human Upgrade by Dave Asprey. Ben Greenfield Life. The Healthy Rebellion Radio with Rob Wolf. The Tim Ferriss Show, and Revolution Health Radio with Chris Kresser.
Yeah, and Chris Kresser had a really good podcast today or yesterday on milk. Maybe we should go over that one next week.
Oh,
really good one.
We will. I'll listen to it, and then we'll go over that next week.
I also like Found My Fitness. That is female. I forget her name. She's very good. Found My Fitness. Lifespan with David Sinclair. He does basically a season. He'll do 12 or so episodes. And I couldn't leave out Teresa Bullard. She was on our podcast. She's a physicist, and she explores esoteric and really neat stuff. That's Dr. Teresa Bullard. And the last one, of course, that I couldn't leave out is The Legend of Cock Punch by Tim Ferriss.
That's his new book, right?
That's his new writing foray, and is
it good?
It's ongoing. It's a saga. It's like Game of Thrones, but with cocks.
Like cocks. Like
roosters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Roosters.
I thought this one was going way off track. All right, Mike. We'll email these lists out so you guys have this, and then Mike declared next week we're going to be talking about Chris Kresser's podcast regarding dairy and milk. We are open today from 3 to 6, and as always, be awesome and never unawesome.
Bye, guys.